Evening, hi. Welcome to Drinks and Design Podcast, brought to you by Down the Shore Marketing and sponsored by Cobblestone Wine and Spirits. I'm CJ.
My name's Ashish.
Robert.
Hey, Robert, how are you?
Oh, very good. Just
Thanks.
came off a couple of hours of playing my favorite sport.
Pickleball?
You got
You're
it, my
looking
man.
good. You're looking good because of that.
I'm feeling good,
activity.
and
Yes.
after we do what we're going to do, I'm probably going to take a very long nap.
Well, you look very svelte.
Excellent. Good to hear.
Yes, Norwegian swelt.
So Ashish, tell us what we're going to be drinking tonight.
All right, so we have two drinks today. The first one is a cocktail in a bottle and inspired by the Prohibition era of the 1920s, which I was not alive for, but none of us were anyway, so that's good. And the other one is an Harvest IPA. It's a beer for this season, the Autumn IPA, and it's by the Southern Tier Brewing Company. So let's begin with, what do you think?
But it's an Indian Pale Ale, correct?
I think so. It doesn't. Yeah, it's an IPA. Yes,
IPA.
You're right.
Yes.
Indian Pale Ale.
Well, what is an Indian Pale Ale? Indian Pale Ale?
IPAs. The way I see it is basically an intense version of what I like mostly. So it's beer, but with a lot more hops, which are much more flavorful than say a simple ale or a lager.
Okay.
So it's brewed differently with a more heavier concentration of hops.
Okay.
And the hops could be from Europe, they could be American. I believe in this case it's American hops. So we'll see how that varies from say German hops.
And that differs?
Really?
And it differs.
Okay.
And remember we tried the Oktoberfest last year, and that Marzen beer was different from anything that I had tasted, frankly.
Okay.
And so let's see what happens today. I'm very curious.
So hope it doesn't explode.
Hope it doesn't explode.
But I'm curious, Ashish, especially you coming from an Indian descent. We're talking about IPAs, Indian Pale Ale.
Yes.
Is there any connection with India?
There is. In fact, the story goes, and it might be apocryphal, I'm not sure, but the British were moving beer into India for themselves, right? Because they were not brewing beer in India,
as a
at least,
colony.
as a colony. So they were moving this, and they happened to be bringing a lot of the lighter beer to India, but it wasn't staying well. So it reached India, and it doesn't taste right. It's like all messed up because of the heat and things like that. So
It's skunked.
it's skunked, basically, yeah. So what they did was to kind of heighten the flavor profile of the beer, and they moved it to India. Some dude figured this out, and it stayed because it was impervious to getting skunked, I believe. And it showed up in India, and hey, the British had their beer. Everybody was happy, and said, "This is India Pale Ale! Yay! Hooray!"
And probably spawned industry in India as well, you know, and
Yes.
help the locals in terms of helping produce, you know, the product.
Yes. In fact, in Bangalore, they have a big, huge. They have many breweries now. When I was growing up, it wasn't a thing, but now they have like these hundreds of microbreweries, just like out here. It's beautiful. I'm not a big beer drinker, but let's give this a shot and see what it goes like, right?
Our first impressions.
All right.
And
Sounds
now,
good.
Lingering impressions.
But first, let's break open the Sonic.
Sonic? Okay.
It's called Sonic Archaeology.
Sonic Archaeology. Interesting.
Prohibition-inspired bottled cocktail. That's something that was definitely written by marketing department. It's a combination of doghead whiskey, rum, and brandy with honey, lemon, and pomegranate juices. Is it actual pomegranate juice? Check the ingredients.
It does say so. It does say honey,
use
lemon,
the
and
word
pomegranate juice. Yes.
So it's got to actually have it there,
Yes.
or else it's all natural flavors, whatever the hell that is.
Let's see if it really tastes like.
It's got me salivating, so
There you go.
I'm looking
So
forward.
look at the website. The website is okay. It was definitely done by someone who knows what they're doing. It's a Drupal site. Drupal is usually a content management system that is used by education systems like universities and such, but for some reason they use Drupal. The version of Drupal is most recent. It's pretty good. It is an interesting site. It uses pretty cool live text instead of icons and imagery. And it's two colors. It's like a green and a drab red. And it looks awful. There's a poem my friend reads. And one of the lines in it is, never wear puce, Bruce. And never put puce in your website, Bruce. It's pretty bad. So it's puce and rust. Ugh. But there are 4 different typefaces it uses, which
is that a
tells
good thing or a
me
bad thing?
the 4 different typefaces?
Yeah.
You don't use 2.
It's 2.
Well, to use design thinking, you have to have, when you design something, you use 2 typefaces. Usually you use a serif and a sans serif. One with little things in the ends and one that's a block type. So you have one that's the accent color and one that's for text. One for headlines and subhead and one for text. This one uses 4 because there wasn't anyone who is a design director and when telling them you have to use 2. They're like, oh, this one looks good here, this one looks good here, this one looks good here. And so they have a pretty cool one that's a headline text. They're using it all the time for headlines. Another one that's actually like a typeface, like it was like a typewriter font, which it looks stupid on a website. And some other ones, and so it's pretty bad. It's pretty haphazard.
It's haphazard, but they were trying to hark back to the whole 1920s.
Yeah,
that,
maybe
bad. So they tried, but I think they just completely failed in terms of mixing, matching things.
The website looks like a ransom letter because it's got like white text block behind it.
It sounds like it's good for the era then, you know, the Prohibition era. You know?
If you want your husband back, send us more.
Exactly.
Whatever.
more fruit juices.
More Sonic architecture.
You want to see the mayor again alive? You will send us.
Let's face it, too. You know, you mentioned 4 type settings, or and you know, 4 is more. You know, so
4 is the new 2.
Yeah,
right?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it even uses an actual typewriter typeface, which just hurts. Second of all, the social media experience isn't on the homepage, so all of the social media links aren't from the homepage. So, which utilizes very poor. Very poor. It's bad for page ranking. Yeah. Bad for page ranking, first of all, because the links don't go from the homepage and they don't go back to the homepage. So you're not directing people to your homepage. You're directing people to some sub-page, which is goofy. And they have 10 or 15 different social media links. They have 1 Twitter link, which is pretty good. I have 6 Facebook links, 3 Instagram pages, a YouTube page. The YouTube page is kept up pretty well. But for Facebook, they have a brewery page, a pub page, an inn page, a distillery page, and a tasting room page, because those all need different treatment for some reason. And their Snapchat link is broken. Whatever.
Nobody cares about Snapchat anymore.
No, but Snapchat's still doing pretty good.
It's doing pretty well, yeah. Certain segment of the population.
There are, kids.
I guess.
Yeah.
There are broken links, and some of the links for the social media open up in the same page, which then you lose what page you're on, which is pretty bad design. But see, if it tries to be Roaring 20s and Prohibition, the typeface for the logo is a different typeface than the ones they use on the website.
Yeah, it's no consistency, right?
And that kind of looks like a wanted ad. From like wanted dead or alive.
Yes.
The Wild West.
You have to pay your ransom and get them dead or alive.
Yeah.
The bottle is pretty good. It's got dog's head, ink, debossed on the sides.
It's very old school, right?
But
it's a thick bottle. It's a nice thick bottle. It's fancy, right?
Feels good in your hand.
Fancy.
It does.
Like it's fancy.
You could kill somebody with it.
You know, without question, whether it be filled or
but
not.
The colors, that dominant color is black, not red, and the colors for the website aren't the same as the one used on the bottle. So it's pretty like it was designed by different departments.
Well, in corporate America, they would call it decentralized decision making.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
It's bad.
It's bad, yes, but that's what they call it.
It's cohesiveness, in other words. Okay.
But it tastes like a.
What's it smell like? Does it smell like reminiscent
of
pomegranate? The bouquet.
This is not a bouquet. This is not a bourbon. This is.
Yeah,
This is a wine cooler.
It's definitely different in terms of an overall taste.
This is like a wine cooler.
It's a wine cooler.
Or like the new ones, like a Truly or one of those things. It's all right.
with a whiskey. Yeah, and,
It's
you know,
kind of
that
a
is the
mishmash of too
overwhelming-
many things. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, the rum's
that's
there,
it.
the brandy's there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm like a monochrome guy. I like my rum.
Mhm.
I like my brandy. I like my
And like
pomegranate
why?
juice. But why mix it up? That's my question. I mean, it's okay.
Is
I
that
mean,
a
for a fun
drink?
drink, but
Is that like is rum and brandy a drink you're supposed to mix?
I'm not apple brandy. I'm not
Not
sure.
that we know, and not that we have reviewed as of yet, but maybe we will get lucky.
We will get lucky. It's gonna happen before we.
And we can get
before we
into
know
a
it.
monochromatic type of whiskey.
Review.
Yes.
Duochromatic.
Duochromatic.
Two-tone.
Yes, exactly.
It's duotone.
And there's a tendency towards drinking more, single vineyard wines or scotches which are from a certain locality.
Yeah.
And this is too much of a mishmash back in the day. Maybe they just had
Like what they had left over?
leftover stuff, of bad quality stuff. They didn't know what to do with it. They just
potentially,
threw
yeah.
everything
But
together.
yeah, some of this left over. Some of this. Let's just make something.
I mean, it's not bad. It's a fun drink, you know.
It's like when I was little. We used to go to breakfast places, and my dad would say, "You see, CJ, how there's raspberry jelly, and then there's strawberry jelly, and then there's grape jelly, and then there's mixed berry jelly." I'm like, "Yeah," because I'm 6 and I don't care. Well, see,
It's
the
a
mixed
boring
berry is because
conversation.
they didn't have enough of the other
Yeah.
berries. They put it together and sell you that.
I think,
And I'm like, okay.
yeah, that's pretty much what's
Because-
happened out here.
I just wanted my eggs. So I
Yeah.
don't care.
Well, they do make. I was looking at this website, and they do make a whole bunch of different things: vodkas, rums, whiskey, and everything.
Gins as well.
Gins
I think
as
I
well.
saw too.
Yeah.
When we just looked.
And they have funky names going on. But the thing is, they just decided to kind of mix this up and make some
Money.
money. Thank you.
Why is it called dogfish? Do we know?
That's a shark, right? Number one on
Yeah.
the logo. It's a shark and a
Dogfish is
shield.
a shark.
Right. So dogfish. Dogfish is one of the fishes I've caught in the New Jersey waters.
Oh, really?
And
It's still a shark.
it is a little shark. You're right. So it's like a baby shark. And I've seen
Baby
it that
shark,
small.
Dogfish washed up on the beach.
I'll tell you, I really do like. I like the name, very much so.
Sounds
catchy.
Yeah,
It's catchy,
I mean,
right?
because
Like
you
a
know,
hedgehog?
hey, well, you know, I'm a child of the '60s. You know, sex, drugs, rock and roll. You know,
There you
music.
go.
How many?
Yeah.
And you know, it's hitting a lot of the good points in that regard, and their affiliation with the music industry seems to be interesting.
Tell us more about it, Rob. What was that that you were reading?
Oh well, that you know the inspiration came from apparently a video that was seen in the '90s by the owners apparently, and it had to do with it was an epic music video. And it had to do with some of the peoples you may know, such as Jack White and T-Bone Burnett and artists, blues rock type of musicians. And the owner was inspired by that, what he had seen on that film, and you know decided to wanted to incorporate music into the name of his branding. And
What video was it? Do you know?
excuse me.
Do you know what video it was?
Oh yeah, there was a name. I don't recall what the name of it was.
This is an archival video from
It
back
was a music video, like
Yeah,
on TV.
music video, yeah.
From the,
Black and white.
and I think yes,
From
exactly.
the 90s.
From the
From the
90s.
90s, ooh.
From the 1990s. It seems like ancient history for some people. For me, not as much.
Like when they check your ID now, for us they just look up if it's before 20, they let us in.
Yeah.
You don't have to look at it. Why aren't you looking at it?
I haven't had my
19.
ID checked in many a year, unfortunately. You
So
know.
what do you think about the actual?
Well, I like it, but I don't think I could drink too much of it. Okay, because of what you had mentioned, Ashish, that it is there's so much going on.
There's too much going on.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I do sense like a little medicinal taste to it too. A very small
Cough syrup.
cough syrup. No, I'm not going to go that far. But I think, you know, but
I went there for you.
Yeah, you know, you can expand upon it, CJ. You know,
CJ's not even sipping. He's like he's just
my second
avoiding.
cup.
no, he's devouring.
his
That's
second
what
cup.
he's doing.
Because the drunker I get, the
bottle
better
is-
you sound.
There you go.
The bottle is almost empty, courtesy of CJ.
Well,
I think you need it.
I do. I
My,
do.
My son took some old ginger
you.
beer bottles during the summer and put vodka and all this stuff in it.
Yes.
And then went to college. And so I see
And it marinated.
I see a little fridge in his room, and I'm thinking, oh great, it's gonna leak, it's gonna warp the floors. So I go in the fridge and see, oh, there's ginger
Give
beer.
you some ice on that
Oh,
one.
Because
thanks,
he made the drink and he put the lids back on the ginger beer. Took the ginger beer and look, this is awful ginger beer. And he had put like vodka and all this stuff, and he just did it haphazardly.
Yeah.
He put like some iced tea and the vodka and some other stuff in it. And I call him up, or text him because he doesn't answer the phone. Joey, what's in the ginger beer? Oh, it's a drink I made. Well, can I throw it out? Yeah, sure. I'll throw it out. But now we're paying for it.
Yeah. Maybe I could work for Sonic, you know?
He's a mixologist.
Exactly. To the nth degree. To the nth degree. Wow.
The way you get new flavors, hire a bored 17-year-old.
Well, I mean, this works as a dessert wine, more or less.
Yeah.
As something to wash all the good food down.
Yes,
Right.
and when the venison.
It's like I'm too
the
lazy to
venison.
mix my own drink.
Yes.
Venison. So if we hit a deer on the way home,
Get that taste of venison
look
out
at
of your mouth.
one they get caught in my backyard. You chase them out of my yard every morning.
So that they recommend venison with the beer, right?
That was one of the suggestions. Yeah.
I see. Okay, that's a very interesting suggestion. I've never heard of that
Yeah, right,
pairing before. It's
exactly.
like red meat, but
The ingredients are
venison, wow.
dogfish head whiskey, whatever that means, rum and brandy with honey, lemon, and pomegranate juices. Availability is in our state, regrettably. Tasting notes: brick red color and aromas of candied fruit, citrus, and rose petal with woody undertones. Balanced sweet tart flavor of tropical fruit, lemon, and pleasant oaky astringency. These aren't even full sentences.
Grammar be damned.
Where the 25% says 50. It's 50 proof.
What is
And
it? 50 proof?
50
No way.
says, well,
Heavy on
25%,
alcohol.
50?
ABV.
so it's 50 proof.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, okay. 50, 25.
And where are the pairings? This is some history
They
stuff.
haven't been bothered. It's more
Maybe.
for a dessert drink, I would think, right?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah,
you can have
it
it
is
with
not.
cheesecake. That's my favorite, of course.
Everything,
okay.
like, what, everything goes with a cheesecake.
I know. Oh, you know what? I forgot to get you guys cheesecake.
Oh,
I bought
break
some
out
for
the
you.
cheesecake, please. Ashish, you
Yes.
know? Please, we've been
You brought cheese.
waiting.
I bought cheese. I had cheesecake in the fridge. It would have gone well with this.
Yeah.
Cheesecake.
So there you have it.
Huh?
Dogfish.com. Mediocre at best.
Yeah, it's a little too, I see a word, complex, and I'll use that, you know, it's just a lot going on.
More complicated.
Yeah.
Complex means intricate. Complicated just means messy. But it looks like my high school senior mixed it. But it's okay, I guess.
It's all right. It's a speakeasy drink.
And the printing on the front is the Boss foil, which is
Yeah.
pretty expensive.
Yeah.
And it's all right.
Nice bottle, you know, heavy duty bottle, and it's a fun drink for just kind of sipping around with friends. or
And if
something
we
once
did
in a
have
while.
some of the appropriate pairings, it would probably
Cheesecake.
you know,
Cheesecake.
come out even better, you know.
So also now we can try the beer.
All right,
So you want to talk about the beer while I
Sure.
pour, or you want to pour while I talk?
you talk. I'll pour. I'm a better pourer.
So this is Southern Tier Brewing Company's Harvest IPA. STBCbeer.com. Pretty lame URL. They have a beer finding app, which is pretty cool, but the map, they use Apple Maps to pair with it, which is kind of annoying. So all
just
they're
want the
doing...
bottle?
Yes, pour some.
Okay. Bottle
That's kind of stupid. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. Let's just get on the bottle.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Prefer that way,
I
right?
don't know why I did
You
that.
look,
Yes.
you look much more you're handsomer, beautiful with the beer bottle.
The
yeah.
drunker you get,
Take
the
our
better I
own.
look.
I need my own.
Wait, other way. The drunker I get, the better
There
you
you
look.
go. See how good you look, Rob.
Mucho
with
gracias,
this.
yes.
So the beer finder app's kind of cool. It has all these little applications and things you can do on the website, which no one ever does. The responsive design is pretty good. It's not done using a content management system, so someone actually designed it and made it responsive, which is pretty good. I didn't see many broken links. The responsiveness is pretty good. Looks pretty good on tablet, on phone, portrait and landscape. Couldn't find many broken links. It's good nav bar. It's good heuristics, meaning it feels and looks like it's intuitive, meaning when you look at it, you understand it and it feels like you already know how to use it. One detail you can see if you look at it on the phone and you press the hamburger, which is the little 3 lines, which is the contextual menu, the menu flies up, but it doesn't obscure the website, so you always sort of know where you are. When the fly out hamburger menu comes up and covers up everything, it's kind of confusing, and it's called bad user experience, bad heuristics. But this uses good heuristics.
This is a good design.
They use a really crappy typeface, like a chunky sans serif. Oh well, it's all right.
So this one does not use the content management system, right? The website?
No, this is done been designed and developed by itself.
By itself, okay. So custom coded.
Definitely gets a reaction from you, CJ.
I'm smelling this
I was hiccup, that's why.
Yeah.
washing liquid.
They use it from a washing.
Sorry.
This is seasonal.
It's seasonal washing liquid.
A lot of
We
the
got our own
elements of the website,
Oktoberfest
they're
going on.
supposed to be
I know.
updating, but they didn't update it, so there's a lot of
In November.
blank parts of the page. The logo is rather vague. It looks like a cell phone tower and a glass, but it's probably something else, something more important. So
Southern
like
tier,
weird
they say, right?
things. There's a 6-pointed star.
I see the hops going on, the barley and everything.
Are
What's the
those
thing in the
railroad
middle?
tracks?
No, it's a cell phone tower.
Is it?
Cell
I
phone
can't see.
tower.
I'm seeing it from my angle.
No,
looks
it's,
like
it's
a
like
cell
a
phone tower.
Oh, I take it
Maybe
back.
a menorah.
On,
It looks like a menorah.
no, on the right. Look on the right. The guy holding that thing. It looks like probably a thing that you.
Holding that thing.
What? What are you
you're holding the menorah.
No, it's a some kind of
It's
farm
kite.
equipment.
It's
So, yeah,
some
it's a Skype or
farm
something.
If we were
implement.
too
It's
city,
an implement. CJ.
probably someone who does farming would know what it was.
Maybe they harvest the hops that way with that thing. It's a form of a skite, maybe.
It's got the 6-point star. It's got seasonal on it. It's pretty basic. So there are grapes on it and also wheat.
Grapes?
Look on the right side.
Oh, okay.
The green things.
Okay, the grape leaves.
I
They
don't
look
know.
like grape leaves, but they're probably
something else.
yeah, the hop leaves probably.
But that's not funny.
The hop,
wouldn't be
yeah,
great.
it's kind of very confusing.
Like the actual farm tool they're using isn't funny, but make it look like a cell phone tower.
Yeah, and the logo is so kind of busy.
Man.
So many different things.
Well, they're trying to say too much.
Yeah, I think so.
Logos, when you design a logo needs to say one thing.
Right. This is
Like
Because we're
Exxon.
counting in-
Exxon has the
Again,
2
complexity
X's.
here.
yeah too much.
The
too
FedEx
much.
logo has an arrow in it. That's it.
And we're
Logos
going
need
to find
to
out
do
what
one
that farm implement is.
No, we're not.
Oh, come on. By the end of the evening, we'll find out. I think it's
Or you just make it up.
I think it's very important.
Yeah. You'll forget by tomorrow.
So what do you make of it, Rob? You seem to be
Well, you know, it has an IPA taste that is, you know, has a little bitterness to it.
It tastes like I'm going to have a headache in the morning.
You might. I don't know. I don't think I will. But, you know, it's, you know, an IPA with a little more bitterness than I would
Usual.
expect from an IPA.
I'm not a big fan of IPAs, and this tastes like an IPA, so I obviously don't like it. But
But you picked it.
I picked it. I'm sorry, but that's my job to pick things up, right? Pick up a woman.
You can pick
don't
up.
like her.
You can pick up stuff. Pick up,
Oh, you
No.
are
pick
bad.
pick up stuff you like. Tastes like
I
an
mean,
IPA.
it's for an IPA. I've drunk IPAs, and I know people who would like this. And no, I'm serious.
You should be inviting them.
In fact, I know people who love this stuff.
Okay.
Because of the bitterness, because of that intensity.
Yes, okay.
People love this stuff.
Like when my mom was little, she wouldn't eat her dinner. My grandmother said, Eat your dinner. No, well, they're starting people in China. And my mom goes, well, send it to them. Send them a beer.
Well, next time we'll have to get
People,
those
people
people in.
like it.
Right?
Yeah, we're conforming out here. That's not fun, right, for the podcast. If you have all conformists at the table, it's no fun. You need some,
Diversity. We need some.
Yeah.
We need to hate it.
yeah, some love, some hate, some,
Yes, we
some
need
greed,
emotion.
some jealousy,
All different
all that
types
kind
of
of stuff, right?
emotions. And we're getting it.
But this is, I mean, I would say this is good quality stuff on the face of it. Like, from what I'm drinking, it's good quality stuff.
Yes.
I've drunk that IPA, so I know. So this is good quality stuff. It's just not to my taste and not to yours
not to
and
mine
Siege's
either.
as well.
Oh, actually, this is one with food pairings. But
Oh.
unlike how Dogfish had the two, I guess this also has two colors. This is black and this kind of browny kind of stain look. And how the other, we talked about the other website had too many typefaces. This has one. So this has too little. Sometimes there are too many. Sometimes there are too few. We need it just right. But food pairings with this are venison, roasted game, whatever that is, stews,
Game.
roasted vegetables.
Bunnies.
Roasted vegetables is in capital letters. So venison, roasted game, stews,
Deer, that is.
and roasted vegetables. Aged cheese, macaroni and cheese. It says macaroni and cheese.
I have to-
CJ,
have to
get
kill
that
this
aged
guy.
cheese we have over
Yeah,
there. It's got to
aged.
be at least 5 minutes old.
No, it's not aged. Yeah, it's aged. Yeah. Sweaty cheese, smoked and cured meats.
See, that's our problem. We don't have any of those things, CJ.
But they're closed. The cheddar
I got
cheddar is
macaroni.
closed.
No, I don't remember. Well, my son would like, because he's 18, he got to buy his food himself. So we have a whole bunch of stuff that he bought and went like boxes of macaroni and cheese. 3 for $1. Wow.
Ooh.
3 for a
3 for $1, dude. Is, no, 99 cents. 3 for $1. There's a reason why it's 3 for $1.
I should have brought my cigars. We could have smoked cigars.
You should
and
have bought
then-
your macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, that's true too. I would have smoked that cheese too, right here. And we could have smoked cheese.
It would have been an idea.
It's an idea, man.
Exactly.
This tastes like a sheesh. How about roasted game macaroni and cheese?
I seriously don't understand how they came up with venison.
I'm
Which
just
is
so
deer,
happy that we
basically.
don't have any venison pairings
Oh
going
my
on
God.
here tonight. You know, I really
You
am
drive too safely.
These guys are adventurous.
Well, they also have this weird bottom nav bar that everything in the row only has enough room for one word, so it's beers, and then find your 2X factor, and rule on, and the brewery, our story, quality tap rooms, buy now, beer finder, store, contact, bring the flavor. That's pretty bad.
2x IPA. That sounds scary. That means it's 2x of this.
Find your
bitterness?
2X. Well, let's,
Oh my God.
yeah, it's more
let's find
intense
our
than
Let's
the
find our
regular.
2X factor.
That's it. I'll draw the line at this. But
Well, it's Southern
2X.
Tier 2X IPA, double IPA.
double IPA.
Sorry, double IPA.
Double IPA.
And 2X Haze, Hazy Juicy, double IPA. 2X Citrus. This is all one word, by the way. Double Fruited. Fruited?
Double fruited.
Like shooed? If it's fruited. It's
Yeah, 8.2%.
fruited means it has fruit injected in it or something. And 2X experimental. That's very 90s. West Coast style, because it's so cutting edge.
West Coast
It's
style.
just sad.
Gee, scary.
So it's 8.2%. So it's 16
It's heavy.
proof.
It's a heavy beer.
Yeah, that's intoxicating.
It is a heavy beer. They're not kidding you.
And it's green, or it's aquamarine, or it's orange, or
Some
it's
kind of,
purple.
Interesting color out here.
It's a beautiful color, right?
It's a nice amber color.
Yeah,
I'll
really.
give it that. It's like
Is
an
there
autumn
other
color.
dyes in it?
Mm-hmm.
They could be. There could be pumpkins in there too.
Yeah, right.
It's a nice bottle. I mean, it's very attractive on the shelf. I have to give you that. Right.
Is that why you picked it?
Enticing. That, of course, that's the whole point. I'm a visual guy.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
that explains
Hey,
that, right?
Guys are visual
Yeah.
overall.
Dude,
It's
you
supposed
said
to
last
be.
time you didn't like IPAs, and you picked an IPA again.
But the colors, man. How could you go wrong with pumpkin, right?
Exactly. You were seduced
orange.
Yes.
by the colors.
Like the little communist worker there with the cell phone tower.
Why you against the commies,
We're going to
man?
find out that
Because
has
they
nothing
don't
to
show
do
the
with cell
faces.
phone
It's
towers.
like the
They
bad
never
guys.
do.
Remember in G.I. Joe? The bad guys never had faces.
Well, at least he's not
Because-
holding a
because-
hammer and sickle.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's holding a cell phone tower.
Exactly.
He's holding a cell phone tower.
We're going to
With
find
the-
out that's
with
the
no
grapes,
cell
is
phone tower.
the grapes are attacking from above. Grape from above.
It's a 5G cell phone tower.
It's 5G.
Yeah.
It's very advanced.
I think it's 10G.
It's jiggling his water molecules.
Wow. CJ loves that stuff.
I'm not trying to be polite. Nope, doesn't say what's in it. How do they get by that?
I don't think they mentioned anything out here.
It'll be on the box.
It might be on the box, yes.
That's how
Yes.
they get around.
But effectively, it's American hops and
what are American hops?
hops that they've harvested in America, as opposed to
What
Germany
does that
or.
mean? What does it mean to me?
Right here.
The crop was in America.
What's the taste difference?
I think the German hops are a different animal. They're much
Are they
more. They could be. They use it in beer. So, like for instance, the Marzen that we tasted, right? The Oktoberfest. That is a whole different animal. That's very light. It's very crisp. This one is heavy duty. Whole different animal.
When you were explaining about IPAs before, you were saying there's a process that they
Yes.
went through, a different process
Yes.
to make the beer.
Yes.
What's that?
So they use a bunch of hops to make an IPA. It's a different kind of hops. So they've used hops that are more intense to kind of suffuse this beer. You could use more German Oktoberfest or lighter hops to make a very light beer. Like I've drunk
So
like
German
Brooklyn.
hops are wussy, and
Exactly.
Indian hops are.
I love wuss. I love wussy.
What do you
But
I
Indian
love
IPA
very light
hops,
stuff.
Indian hops are very strong.
I believe so. Yeah, because it's like
You're
maybe
making it up.
it's-
What are they?
I could be, but that's what I.
He could be lying. You can't tell.
I can tell.
You're doing such a good job.
Yes, thank you.
We
Keep a
never
straight
know.
face.
It's like,
Keep
you
a
look-
straight face. That's what we do.
You look really pretty. Wait,
you.
I'm sorry. I'm really drunk.
He's
I
good.
know you very well. I could be lying. You can't tell.
Okay, so American oak versus
Oak?
French oak.
Oh.
So now
right.
they use wine. You drink
Okay.
wine that has been made in America
Versus
in
France.
American oak versus
I mean, aged in American oak.
aged in American oak
barrels.
barrels versus say French wine
Oak
that is
wine?
no oak is the tree,
No, oak's a barrel.
and they make barrels out of
When you
that.
say oak
wood.
wine, it makes
Oaked
it
wine.
say oaked.
I mean, all wine is mostly oak, right? Red wine, because they have to kind of add that oakiness to it. French wine, Napa, whatever it is, they usually.
So a lot of the taste from a red wine comes from the oak barrel.
Not depends. It might be this much. It could be this much, but it does come. There's a bunch of it that comes from oak, and that's what makes it fun, right? So the taste from American oak is distinct from French oak. That's what I'm trying to say, and this is pretty much the same story. American oak, American hops versus European hops. It's pretty different.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe when they made IPA, it was a different kind of hop they used, which was maybe available back then in Portugal, I don't know where. But it tastes
Portugal? When did you get Portugal?
different. I don't know. They
How did we
found
get
some
Portugal
reason.
into this
He's making it up.
conversation?
It's a hot country, man.
Okay. I think we've done enough damage.
History lesson.
Again, we talked about sonic archaeology. It's a mix of.
It's a cocktail drink, and you have it over ice, right? And it's a mix of what? Rum,
Is a
apple
prohibition
brandy.
inspired bottled cocktail.
There you go.
Mix of doghead whiskey, rum, and brandy. Doesn't say doghead rum, doghead brandy. With honey, lemon, and pomegranate juices.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have the Southern Tier
Harvest.
Brewing Company Harvest IPA. Ooh. It's like you're trying to put out a fire. Both websites are kind of lame. Both websites are duotone, meaning these two colors. One uses too many typefaces. One only uses one typeface. Both are pretty okay responsively, meaning they look okay on the phone as opposed to looking on your desktop computer. So,
CJ,
yes.
is there any correlation to the typeface and the complexity of the drink?
Well, usually it's the opposite. Usually you can tell that if they spend all their money on the website, they don't have enough money to make a good drink. But I do pick wines by how cool the bottle looks, and I've done pretty well like that. So
that's what we do, right?
As you can tell, my argument has fallen apart.
You're obviously a connoisseur.
I can make it up as I go along.
For some reason, I'm going back.
We
to
also have the Southern Tier Brewing Company Harvest IPA, which is pretty good. The website's pretty good. They have a beer finder, which is just a search attached to your zip code and Google Maps. Actually, it's Apple Maps, and it's all right.
That sounds good. And just for the record, this is from a company based in Delaware.
Yes.
Joe Biden, yay.
Delaware?
Okay.
It's a Delaware-based company.
I'm sure he's involved.
Delaware?
Delaware.
Where?
Where? Delaware? Joe Biden, where are you? And this is based in our good old New York, from where Rob Johnson appears.
Well,
he's been there.
You're a New Yorker.
I haven't been in Lakewood.
I know, but you're a New Yorker.
Okay. I have some affiliation.
That's as close.
Only New York
Not
City
close,
talks like
though,
that.
but
Only New York City talks like that.
Yes.
New Yorker.
Thank you, Ashish.
I mean, what do I know, man?
That wasn't even a New York accent.
I know.
He's so good. He's so good.
I'm pushing it, man.
With the overtones of the Indian.
We want to thank Cobblestone Wine Experience for the free stuff. Please go visit them. They are in Ocean. I'm CJ.
I'm Ashish.
And I'm Robert.
Robert, our guest host, Robert. And we are... this is a Drinks and Design podcast. Brought to you by Down the Show Marketing. It's pretty good.